All right, so we got a testimony from Amazing Facts, and I think the person's name, to be exact, let me get that the person's name here. Did not mention the name. That's okay. We'll find out more through the testimony. So we're gonna start with that, and then before we get into the serious stuff, anyway, let's take a listen.
I grew up in a Buddhist family. It was a part of my lifestyle to worship ancestors, going to the temples time to time. I had no idea there's a God in heaven who even created our ancestors. Christianity is a foreign religion for the most of Japanese. I was strictly taught to stand on my strength as I grew up. I just did my best to go through the trials with my own strength. But as I grew up, the trial got harder and harder. Even though people appreciated my hard work, I found myself useless and worthless in this world and fell into depression. First time in my life, I prayed with my own words. I want to know you, God. And that was the time I experienced the existence of God. Amazing Facts Bible Study Guide was given to me as I was praying for the deeper understanding of the Bible. All the question is answered only from the Bible. It was very clear that every truth was written in the Bible. Amazing Facts Bible Study Guide helped me to decide to get baptized. It was last year, May. And I heard through my friend that there is a training center in the Philippines. That is when I started to pray about joining the training. The training was not easy, to be honest, but I was so happy to learn each day. I cried a lot through the training, not because I had a hard time, but because I experienced the presence and the love of God and how merciful and how faithful He is to me. The best lesson I had learned through the training was my nothingness without Him. When I faced all the requirements or the assignment or the things that I needed to do, I cannot do anything without God. Daily, I prayed that God will empty me, and I asked the Lord to take control of my life. Then I saw so much miracles, how God can enable that in my limited strength cannot accomplish. I believe God led me step by step. Jesus is coming so soon, and there is no time to be wasted to live worldly. As He has promised, He never leaves us, and He is at our side, leading us and guiding us and taking us through all the paths we take for His service. My name is Kie Takahashi. I want to follow Him faithfully and reflect Him to this world where a lot of people are in darkness.
Beautiful. That sets the stage.
What a testimony.
Powerful.
That is so powerful.
Yeah, I love those testimonial segments. I think we need to hear more of that. So how is the Lord using you in your, like they call it, the neck of the wood? How is the Lord using you? What is the Lord doing with you? It's good to take a look and ask God for a vision. Like Proverbs says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So it's ask God for a vision, what He will use you for and what He's called you to do. And it's good to know that every one of us have a call and we have a purpose. Mm-hmm. So it's bigger than just going to church.
I think it was so key when she said she grew up doing things in her own strength. And the greatest takeaway that she had was her nothingness without Christ. Yeah, so, I mean, because we all, I think, can probably have that testimony where we have tried to fix our finances, fix our relationships, fix ourselves, fix things within us that, we didn't like, habits, and took, it was so funny. The pastor today was talking about all of those kind of like infomercials, like get this, it'll make your clothes dry faster, or this will do that, and this will do that. And like, if you just get this, this will fix whatever problem it is that you have. And I love that she recognized her own strength wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you do fall into depression or like on a hamster wheel or just like the nothingness of life. Like she just felt like she had no purpose. She felt like even though people were telling her too, good job, you know, like you're a hard worker, you're doing great, there was still something in her that just wasn't enough. And she just couldn't pinpoint what it was. And so that's how God works. And then she started seeking. In my devotion this morning, that verse came to heart where it was, ask and ye shall find. I mean, asking it, what is it? How's it go? Ask,
Yeah. Ask and you shall be
asking
given
it shall
unto
be
you.
given unto you. Seeking you shall find.
Find.
Knocking
Yeah.
it shall be opened unto you.
Yeah,
Right, in Matthew.
correct.
So God told me, like, so oftentimes we stop at asking. Like, asking is where we end up just saying, like, okay, God, and then we have this expectation, or we feel like failures
Yeah.
because we haven't continued with the seeking and with the knocking. And it's like faith without works is dead was the next part that kind of came to me. So not only did she feel this emptiness, but then she started asking questions, but then she moved in it,
Yeah.
right? She started looking things up and went to that training. And so sometimes we feel like things aren't happening or things aren't working, and we're asking, but are we seeking? Are we knocking? Are we taking it to the next step? So, I mean, it's just, that was a powerful testimony. Powerful,
yeah.
very powerful.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But I also like what you said is she feels her insignificance.
Yeah,
And
without Christ.
It's like the Lord does greater work with us when we realize that we are really nothing.
Yeah.
We surrender all of it to Him, and that was like the text this morning. Anyway, this thing is not working. I'm gonna pull up my Bible verse from the screen. So what we saw, yeah, there we go. Yeah, part of our this morning discussion, Romans 6 was also shared. There it is now. Yeah. Don't you know ye not to whom you yield your servants to obey, his servants ye or whom you obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness. So the word yielding here is where you get the word, we call it surrender. It's to
Submission.
submission, right? So
Giving of yourself,
Yeah.
your thoughts, your ideas,
yeah,
not just like what you do, but also your internal self,
Absolutely.
your thinking,
Yeah.
your very being.